Today we're making an affordable DIY undergravel filter. First you will need black plastic seedling trays which can be found at any plant store or nursery. Or, like me, already have them lying around. Next is a small piece of black 19mm flexi poly pipe which can be bought in 1 meter lengths for $3. But to my advantage, I already had some spare from building the fish room. Later you may also want a small suction cup to hold this piece of pipe in place. Lastly, you will need a sharp cutting device. I personally went with scissors and a sharp blade. Starting with the black seed trays, I found that they were the perfect width to cover the bottom of my 2-foot tank. Although to prevent an extremely thick gravel bed, I would have to make the edges of the tray shallower. So I used a set of sharp scalpel blades to cut it to size. Although it didn't take me long to realise just how crap this set really was, and in response I moved on to using scissors, which was also very difficult, but it got the job done, eventually. With the first tray cut to size, my next step was to resize the second tray to half length and again shallow out the edges to match tray 1. Now looking at both trays cut to size, it became evident that the water would not be able to flow properly through the trays, as the outside edge of the uncut tray was preventing it. To fix this issue, I made 2 large cutouts in the outside edge to allow water to flow through. At the same time, I found that the weight of the gravel would cave in the roof of the cut tray, so I grabbed a piece of slate to support the middle. Then with my tape measure, figured out the length of the exhaust needed. Grabbed the 19mm pipe and cut off the piece with scissors. With a rough estimation of where I wanted the exhaust to be positioned, I made a hole in the tray and shoved the pipe through it. I then decided to make several cuts in the bottom of the pipe and proceed to flatten out the strips. This would prevent the exhaust from ever popping off of the tray and help stop the pipe from sucking onto the bottom of the aquarium. With everything in place, I used our little suction cup talked about earlier to hold the exhaust in the desired position. Now it's time to hook up the return pump, so to speak. First grab roughly 1 meter of 3 to 4mm airline tubing and attach a small air stone on one end. Then drop the air stone down the exhaust pipe to the very bottom. Connect the other end to your air pump and you're ready to add your gravel bed. All undergravel filters need large coarse gravel in order to function properly and prevent clogging. So for this project, I went with some old gravel I had in the fish room storage. To finish, I used an aquascaping tool to even out the gravel nicely. Then added the water. And that's it. Nothing hard, and it will certainly do the trick. The way this works is that it uses updrafts of air to force water up the tube, into the aquarium and back down through the gravel, cleaning the water of any debris. Meanwhile hosting the best good bacteria farm ever. Thanks everyone for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below.